One in the sport of boxing. When it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best. I don't care if y'all write good stories. I don't care if y'all write bad stories. You know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
How do you even get this much money? What do you do?
Work hard.
Reports suggest that Floyd Mayweather Jr. became the target of a federal search conducted at one of his lavish estates. However, the moment that truly stunned the press was not merely the sight of armed officers or confidential court orders. Instead, attention centered on his confident expression during what seemed to be a federal investigation unfolding at his residence.
Getting the money is not the problem, Harry. What is the problem, for Christ's sake? We know them that to get it.
Verified reports state that during the intense federal action, Floyd Mayweather Jr. showed no visible concern over the agent's arrival and was observed wearing a grin, an expression said to have frustrated the supervising officer in charge. As pressure mounted, the encounter developed into a tense verbal clash between the undefeated champion and the nation's leading investigative agency.
Come on down the table now. We rocking and rolling. You know, right there. You look at that. That's right there. Oh, they mad because I'm flashy, I'm flamboyant. So we count the paper on the table. We get things right where they be. Things in perspective. So right now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 500,000 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. That's 6.
Verified reports state that during the intense federal action, Floyd Mayweather Jr. showed no visible concern over the agent's arrival and was observed wearing a grin, an expression said to have frustrated the supervising officer in charge. As pressure mounted, the encounter developed into a tense verbal clash between the undefeated champion and the nation's leading investigative agency. In the course of the recent federal search at the residence of Floyd Mayweather Jr., investigators reportedly discovered substantial amounts of cash along with sensitive paperwork set to connect the boxing star to various alleged financial misconduct operations. Individuals familiar with the probe claim the confiscated items include files pointing to unreported overseas accounts, questionable electronic fund transfers, and associations with business activities that may be fraudulent. Authorities, including forensic accounting specialists and federal attorneys, are now reviewing the evidence to assess how deeply Mayweather may be implicated.
Here in this area along 28th and Division, both in Grand Rapids and Wyoming. This was a month-long investigation spanning from September to November. Thousands of dollars exchanged to make fake documents for people presumably in the United States illegally.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has characterized his exhibition appearances as legalized bank robbery, highlighting a business model focused on earning enormous sums while facing minimal danger in the ring. By agreeing to showcase bouts against significantly less seasoned opponents, including social media figure Logan Paul, he uses his star power to generate massive pay-per-view numbers. Estimates suggest that the clash with Paul alone produced between $50 million and $100 million in income, even though the event was marketed more as spectacle than as a serious athletic contest.
Are absolutely right. Floyd Money Mayweather can do what he wants. I'm gonna tell you what he's definitely doing, and that's robbing your bag.
Keep doing exhibition, stealing money, legalized bank robbery.
He tells you in your face, you a dumb for paying for it, and it's legalized bank robbery, and you go, wow, yeah, he can do what he wants. And there's people that's like, no, Floyd ain't talking about us. He's talking about everybody else. Talking about the white man. Fool, he's talking about you too.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. follows a strategy centered on efficiency over exertion, enabling him to protect his flawless record while continuing to secure enormous earnings. This method has fueled ongoing discussion about how deeply business interests now influence boxing, raising questions about where the line should be drawn between pure competition and spectacle-driven entertainment.
Money Mayweather has definitely earned his nickname, but his next offer would be the easiest bag he's ever grabbed. Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya recently came out and challenged the undefeated Floyd. And while De La Hoya played a key stepping stone role in his rise to greatness, the chance to fight a long-retired rival wouldn't wake up many, especially not Mayweather, until you hear the Golden Boy's offer. $100 million just to fight him. We're not talking purse either. That money would be guaranteed. And if Floyd took it, the offer alone would be bigger than all but two of Mayweather's biggest purses. And all he has to do is fight the Golden Boy again? This is a man that's been retired for over a decade, and fighting Shaq, appearing on The Masked Dancer, and teasing a presidential run doesn't equal training. Hey, Earth to Floyd, this is the easiest bag you will ever grab. All you have to do is say yes. And to earn even more, all you have to do is win the easiest fight you've had since Conor McGregor. Take the money.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has long been involved in legal controversies. Public focus grew after the death of Josie Harris, his ex-girlfriend and mother of 3 of his children, amid reports she was preparing a $25 million defamation and misconduct lawsuit against him. Harris was found dead in her car in 2020, with authorities initially ruling it an accidental overdose. Since then, theories have circulated suggesting Mayweather might have had a role in her death to avoid the costly legal claim. While no evidence supports foul play, the timing and financial stakes continue to drive speculation and public suspicion.
But hey, guys, you know, the feds, the feds got the man on $25 million in back taxes. And see, the thing is, you guys think that that man's money is up there like it is, but it's not, so to speak. See, Floyd over the years have had so many legal battles when it comes to this bread, you know, owing back taxes, you know, not paying off debts. And everybody knows that he buys all his vehicles from the same person, you know, that's crooked as hell, Josh Tobin, aka the Chopper. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know the Chopper, man. Anybody get a car from him. But at the end of the day, man, you know, Floyd having some money problems. So now what I'm gonna dig into is, we're gonna dig into Josie Harris. Now, Josie Harris was Floyd's first baby mama. Josie Harris, man, was the mother of 3 of his kids.
The recent federal search of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s mansion is set to be connected to an investigation into a $42 million real estate fraud. Mayweather had publicly stated that he purchased a group of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan through his company Vita Properties. Yet, according to New York City property records, none of these properties show a transfer of ownership, raising questions about whether the acquisition was genuine.
What's happening with Floyd Mayweather that we were all cheering and congratulating him from, but we might need to put a pin in that as some evidence comes forward that things may not be how they seem. So a couple weeks back, I talked about it here on the show. Floyd Mayweather said he dropped $402 million on 62 Manhattan rental buildings. But Business Insider went and did the research. They did their Googles, and they said they couldn't find any receipts that this is true. There were no deed transfers, no public records, nothing. They made some phone calls to owners, and they could not find any information regarding this transaction. Floyd has gone on interviews and discussed it. You know, of course, 50 Cent dropped in with his troll thing and put the interview up and the information about it and said he bought them in his imagination. Same place he read all those Harry Potter books, because 50 gone 50. My question is, does Floyd, was he swindled in some sort of business deal?
Adding to the controversy, a spokesperson from Vita Properties presented a person identifying themselves as James McNair during questions about the purchase. Observers noted that this individual's voice sounded unlike prior recordings of McNair, prompting doubts about the legitimacy of the claim. These discrepancies have fueled suspicion that the announced acquisition might have been overstated or misrepresented. possibly to bolster Mayweather's business reputation or draw in potential investors. The federal agents' raid on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s home was intended to seize materials connected to the purportedly fraudulent real estate deal, including financial records and correspondence that could support allegations of misrepresentation or other financial wrongdoing.
Floyd has gone on interviews and discussed it. You know, of course, 50 Cent dropped in with his troll thing and put the interview up and the information about it and said he bought them in his imagination. Same place he read all those Harry Potter books. Because 50 gone 50. My question is, does Floyd, was he swindled in some sort of business deal?
The dispute over Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s alleged multi-million-dollar real estate acquisition stems from major inconsistencies between his announcements and official property documentation. In February, he claimed via his company Vita Properties to have purchased 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan, stating that he held complete ownership without outside investors. Yet, reporting by Business Insider found that New York City property records show no such transfers, and the NYC Housing Partnership, which typically monitors these developments, confirmed having no record of any pending sales linked to Mayweather.
Hey, who said Floyd ain't still out here doing big deals? Money Mayweather just inked a massive $402 million real estate deal in New York City, buying up 60 apartment buildings from Black Spruce Management, the equivalent of 1,000 apartment units. Now, Floyd said the goal is to be able to provide affordable housing to families that need it. Most of the units are located in Upper Manhattan. And he said that when he was a kid, his dream was just to be able to own a home and that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. Damn, Floyd just bought the block. I'm proud of Floyd. He's come a long way. This is a guy who was once seen burning money in a nightclub. He spent $17 million on a watch. Not to pocket watch him, but people looked at him for years like, yo, he wastes a lot of money. Does he ever give back? And now he's providing affordable housing? Damn, Money Mayweather's come a long way. This is a real good look. It shows evolution. It shows maturity. Not to mention, it's always great to see another person of color become a landlord in New York.
Prior to her tragic passing, Josie Harris had accused Floyd Mayweather Jr. of defamation, emotional distress, and prior misconduct, preparing to take the matter to court. Legal filings show she sought $20 million in damages, alleging that Mayweather's public statements damaged her reputation and falsely portrayed her as a drug user. The case was expected to be a high-profile legal battle, exposing the darker aspects of Mayweather's personal life. Although Harris died before the lawsuit could reach a conclusion, it remains a notable and controversial episode in the boxer's long history of disputes.
His ex Josie Harris is suing him for $20 million for making false and humiliating accusations. Mayweather had an interview with Katie Couric just 2 weeks before his big fight against Manny Pacquiao. During the interview, he said that when he and Josie got into a physical fight, it was because she was high on drugs. The fight he was talking about happened back in December 2011. He actually went to jail for 90 days for domestic violence. Mayweather told Katie, "Did I kick, stomp, and beat someone? No, that didn't happen. Did I restrain a woman that was on drugs? Yes, I did. So if they say that's domestic violence, then you know what? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of restraining someone." While the timing couldn't be better for Josie, the big fight paid out $300 million to the two fighters. Pacquiao went home with 40%, Mayweather took home this.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. served time in jail in 2012 following a domestic violence conviction. He received a 90-day sentence at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas after pleading guilty to misdemeanor battery for an incident involving his ex-girlfriend Josie Harris in 2010, which took place in the presence of their children. Mayweather began serving his term on June 1, 2012, and was released on August 3, 2012, after completing 2 months of a 3-month sentence. The punishment came as part of a plea agreement that reduced more serious felony charges, which could have resulted in a much longer prison term.
I'm imposing a 6-month sentence in the Clark County Detention Center, 90 days of which will be served in custody, the remaining 90 days to be suspended. He will be given 3 days credit for time served. I will give him credit for the other 2 days for the case that is being dismissed as part of this negotiation.
Well, because it's too hard.
It's too hard! Aw, should have thought about that before you beat up your baby mama. But yes, Floyd has to be transferred to house arrest, claiming his stint in jail is causing him to be dehydrated and malnourished, he can't stay in shape, and it's destroying his boxing career. In other words...
Guess what? You're incarcerated.
Which is essentially what Judge Melissa Saragosa told him. Damn, she's kind of hot for a judge. Sustained. Anyway.
First off, the judge said you will remain in jail. As far as not drinking water and shriveling up.
She says Floyd's condition is, quote, self-induced as water is made available to Floyd 24 hours a day.
For anyone that's going to jail, toilet water is the freshest water.
Okay, good tip. Also, the judge says there's plenty of nutritious food and opportunity for exercise, so Floyd's just gonna have to man up.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has openly discussed his 2012 time in jail, calling it an extremely difficult chapter in his life. In a conversation with Larry King, he described the experience, saying he was confined 23 hours a day with no access to television, radio, or newspapers, leaving him alone with just 4 walls. Mayweather served 2 months of a 90-day sentence at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas after pleading guilty to misdemeanor battery for an incident involving his ex-girlfriend, Josie Harris.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's...
Reports surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s alleged $42 million real estate purchase have generated significant discussion. Discrepancies between his public statements and official property records have led many to question whether the deal was legitimate or exaggerated. Do you believe the claims have merit, or is this an example of media hype? Leave your thoughts in the comments and join the debate.